You've done everything right. You've maxed out your 401k for years, maybe decades. You've built a balance of 1.5 million or more. That's an incredible achievement. Most people never come close. But here's the challenge that catches many retirees off guard. Every dollar you take from that 401k is taxable as ordinary income. And once you turn 73, the IRS forces you to start taking required minimum distributions, whether you need the money or not. Those distributions can push you into higher federal tax brackets depending on your other income sources. The uncomfortable reality is this: if you don't have a strategy to manage the tax burden on that 1.5 million, you could end up paying substantially more on taxes over your lifetime than necessary. And the time to plan for this isn't when you're 73, it's before required minimum distributions begin. Today, we're going to walk through how to minimize taxes on a large 401k balance so you can keep more of what you've worked so hard to save. Hi, I'm Scott Beasley, Certified Financial Planner at Gateway Financial Partners. If you found this video helpful, please take a moment to like and subscribe. It helps more people find this information. If you have a substantial 401k balance, 1.5 million, 2 million, or more, you're in a position that most retirees aspire to. But with that success comes significant tax planning challenges. Today, we're going to cover strategies that can help you minimize taxes in retirement, from Roth conversions to withdrawal sequencing to charitable giving. Let's get into it. Part 1, understanding the tax problem with large 401k balances. Let's start by understanding the challenge. If you have 1.5 million in traditional 401k, all of that money is pre-tax. You got a deduction when you contributed, but you haven't paid taxes on any of it yet. When you start taking distributions, every dollar comes out as ordinary income. That's the same tax rate you pay on your salary, not the lower capital gains rate. And at age 73, required minimum distributions begin. For a $1.5 million balance, your first RMD could be tens of thousands of dollars per year, based on current IRS life expectancy tables. By the time you're in your 80s, you could be required to take significantly larger distributions as you age, whether you need the income or not. Here's where it gets expensive. That $55,000 to $100,000 in taxable income can push you into higher federal tax brackets depending on other income sources. It can also trigger Medicare surcharges, which add thousands of dollars to your healthcare costs. Most people haven't considered this. They see a $1.5 million balance and think, I'm set. But if you're paying high federal income tax rates, plus state taxes in many cases, plus higher Medicare premiums, that $1.5 million doesn't go as far as you think. The good news is there are strategies to manage this, but they work best when you start before RMDs begin. Part 2, Roth conversions before age 73. One of the most powerful strategies for reducing lifetime taxes on a large 401k is Roth conversions. Here's how it works. You move money from your traditional 401k or IRA to a Roth IRA. You pay taxes on the amount you convert in the years you do it. But once it's in the Roth, all future growth and withdrawals are tax-free. The key is timing. The best time to do Roth conversions is typically in the years between retirement and age 73, before required minimum distributions begin. Let's say you retire at 65. You're no longer earning a salary, so your income is lower. Social Security might not have started yet. This is your low income window. If you convert $50,000 or $75,000 a year during this period, you're paying tax at a relatively low rate, maybe 12% or 22%, instead of 24 or 32% later when you have the RMDs kick in. Over that period, you might be able to convert a meaningful portion of your tax-deferred savings to Roth, reducing the balance subject to RMDs and giving yourself a pool of tax-free income in your later years. But here's where a financial plan makes all the difference. You need to model how much to convert each year without pushing yourself into a higher bracket or triggering other tax consequences. It's not a one-size-fits-all strategy. It depends on your specific income, your other assets, and your long-term tax picture. Part 3, strategic withdrawal sequencing. Another strategy is thinking carefully about which accounts you draw from and when. Most retirees have money in 3 types of accounts: taxable brokerage accounts, tax-deferred accounts like 401k and IRAs, and tax-free accounts like Roth IRAs. The traditional approach is to spend taxable accounts first, then tax-deferred, then Roth. But that approach often results in higher lifetime taxes because your tax-deferred accounts grow larger and create bigger RMDs later. A more efficient strategy may be to draw a mix of those accounts throughout retirement. For example, you might take some income from your taxable account to cover living expenses, but also do a Roth conversion from your 401k each year to manage your tax-deferred balance. The goal is to smooth out your taxable income over time rather than having very low income in your 60s, then a big spike in your 70s when RMDs begin. This is where detailed planning matters. You need to coordinate your withdrawal strategy with Social Security timing, Roth conversions, Medicare thresholds, and your long-term income needs. This is where careful modeling and planning become important. Part 4, qualified charitable distributions. If you're charitably inclined, qualified charitable distributions, or QCDs, are one of the best tax strategies available. Starting at age 70 and a half, you can donate up to the current QCD limit, which is indexed and adjusted periodically, directly from your IRA to charity. The donation counts toward your required minimum distribution, but it doesn't increase your taxable income. Let's say your RMD is $60,000, but you only need $40,000 to cover your expenses. You could donate $20,000 directly to charity through a QCD. That $20,000 satisfies part of your RMD, but it never shows up as income on your tax return. You avoid federal and state taxes on it, and you may also avoid triggering high Medicare premiums. This is one of the most underutilized strategies I see. If you're giving to charity anyway, doing it through QCDs is almost always more tax efficient than taking the distribution, paying taxes, and then making a charitable distribution separately. Part 5. Don't forget Medicare and Social Security. Finally, it's important to understand that managing taxes in retirement isn't just about federal tax rates, it's also about Medicare premiums and the taxation of Social Security benefits. Medicare Part B and Part D premiums are based on your modified adjusted gross income from 2 years prior. If your income is above approximately $109,000 as an individual or $218,000 as a couple, based on current thresholds, those surcharges increase in tiers. So even a small amount of additional income can trigger a significant premium increase. Similarly, up to 85% of your Social Security benefits can be taxable depending on your other income. Large 401k distributions can push more of your Social Security into taxable territory. The point is, tax planning in retirement is holistic. You're not just managing federal taxes, you're managing Medicare costs, Social Security taxation, and overall cash flow. And all of these pieces need to work together. If you've built a substantial 401k balance, you've done the hard part. But without a strategy to minimize taxes, you could be paying more in taxes than necessary. The key is starting early, before required minimum distributions begin. Roth conversions, strategic withdrawals, qualified charitable distributions, and coordinated Social Security timing can all work together to reduce your lifetime tax bill. Most people haven't considered how these strategies interact with their overall retirement plan. But getting this right can mean the difference between running out of money in your 80s and leaving a meaningful legacy for your family or the causes you care about. If you're nearing retirement and want to make sure your financial strategy supports your goals and values, let's connect. Click the link in the description below to schedule a conversation. Thanks for watching, and if you found this helpful, feel free to subscribe and share it with someone who might benefit.